Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today. I'm Jackie and I create sea glass mosaics. And today I'm going to talk to you about how to take an old frame like this and get it prepared to use as a canvas for a sea glass mosaic. In my last video, I talked to you about taking a window frame from a house and turning it into a canvas for your sea glass mosaic. So today I'm going to talk to you about taking an old picture frame. So I got this old picture frame from an aunt of mine, and it's fairly dated, but it's got some really neat detail in the frame. So I want to use this as a canvas for my mosaic. So I'm going to show you how I do that. The first thing I do is I need to remove the backing and take the glass out. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So this is a fairly straightforward process. I'm just taking some pliers and I'm removing all of the things that hold the back of the frame, or the back of the back cardboard into the frame. I'm going to take those all out so I can get this backing off. So I got those all pulled out. Now I can take the cardboard off and the mat and take the glass out. And then I can clean up the glass and fix it up before I put it back in. Missed one right here. And the other thing I'm going to take off, because I'm not going to use, this probably isn't going to be sturdy enough to hang my mosaic, so I'm going to take this off as well. Now, the one thing about this frame, you'll notice it's kind of goldish, which you might like. In my case, I was thinking, oh, that looks a little bit dated. And my aunt gave me two of these. So what I did with the first one was I took it and put a really thin coat of paint on it. And then I put a second coat. So two coats are really thin. So it gives it kind of that whitewashed, nautical look. And I quite like that. And I'm planning to do a lighthouse in this frame. So I thought the nautical white look looks better to me than the gold, which seemed a little bit dated. So the next thing I'll do, it's pretty straightforward. The glass that was in this one, I've cleaned it all up. And I will just slide the glass. I do this before I do the mosaic. I put the glass in, and then I take my silicone. Now this is white silicone that dries clear, and I like to secure the glass in the frame before I start putting the sea glass on. So I just run a bead of silicone all the way around the glass, and then it holds the glass in place nice and sturdy. And I usually just take my finger and go like that. And then I can clean up any messy bits before it dries. So I'll do that all the way around. Now once you have the silicone all the way around in your frame, you can kind of clean up any messy bits that might be on the frame, or if it's gotten a little bit too thick in some places. The other thing I usually do too is I'll take the glass scraper and I'll just scrape along here. You can do this after it dries as well if you find you've gotten a little bit too much silicone on your glass. And if you can see it from the other side, you might want to scrape it off, but it's easy to get when it's still wet, so I usually try and do that a little bit. And then sometimes once it dries, it'll be fine, and sometimes it isn't, so then you can always clean up any excess then. But I try to make it as neat and tidy as I can at this stage. And that's all I'm going to do for today. So now what I'll do is I'll leave this sitting at least overnight, maybe even for a couple of days before I'll get started on my project, because I don't want the glass to slip. I want it to be nice and secure in the frame before I start working on it. So I have these two frames finished up and ready to go for sea glass mosaics. They kind of have a nice nautical type look to them because I just did kind of a whitewash finish on them. The only other thing that I did do was I painted the back of the frame white as well, because both of these are nice size to hang in a window, and I find the sea glass mosaics look best when they're hung in a window because the sun shines through and it really shows off the sea glass nicely. And you want your frame to look nice from the outside of the window as well as from the inside, because you can see the sea glass pattern and everything quite nicely. So I did that as well. So hopefully that's helpful to you. That's the first step in creating a sea glass mosaic. If you'd like to see all my steps in creating a sea glass mosaic, you can check out my book, Windows to the Past, Creating Sea Glass Mosaic Art. You can find it on my website or also on Amazon. And if you have any other questions and comments, please feel free to post them. And you can check out my other videos as well to give you some more information. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope that this has been really helpful for you in creating your own art with sea glass.